Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yesterday was Earth Day, but you know, Earth Day is every day, right? So happy Earth Day. Hi, Mr. Key.
Good morning.
You were like,
sorry, I need to fix my face. I'm on air. I'm on air.
All right.
Yay, me here.
Oh, yay. Okay, so happy Friday, everybody. Yeah, I hope school is going great for all of you. Yeah.
Hola.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the show started. We'll see y'all soon. Let's see what we have next.
This planet is threatened with destruction, and we who live in it with death. The heavens reek, the waters below are foul, children die in infancy, and we and the world, which is our home, live on the brink of nuclear annihilation. We are in a crisis of survival.
This is a CBS News special. Earth Day, a question of survival, with CBS News correspondent Walter Cronkite.
Good evening. A unique day in American history is ending, a day set aside for a nationwide outpouring of mankind seeking its own survival. Earth Day, a day dedicated to enlisting all the citizens of a bountiful country in the common cause of saving life from the deadly byproducts of that bounty, the fouled skies, the filthy waters, the littered earth. As a demonstration, its success was mixed, beyond expectations here, far below there. No one now can know exactly how many took part. We do have an idea how many planned participation, student groups in 2,000 colleges and 10,000 lower schools, citizen groups in 2,000 communities. By one measurement, Earth Day failed. It did not unite. It did attract that broad cross-section of America its sponsors wanted, not quite. Its demonstrators were predominantly young, predominantly white, predominantly anti-Nixon. Often its protests appeared frivolous, its protesters curiously carefree. Yet the gravity of the message of Earth Day still came through. Act or die. We begin our report with Bruce Morton in Denver.
Place for Purple Mountain's majesty. A place where, on a clear day, the legend says you could see forever. The clear days are fewer now. And instead of forever, the view often stops with haze. Next to Los Angeles, Denver has the best climate in the country for producing smog. In this unlikely seeming place, the air is threatened. Earth Day is a focus for efforts to save it.
Bicycles at the state capitol were a Denver symbol. Auto pollution is a major problem here in the country's 17th most polluted city, so high schoolers pedal to show there's another way to travel. The altitude increases car engines' pollution output. It doesn't do a thing to bikes. Somebody in the cheerful, disorganized crowd said, let's clean up, and the several hundred young people did, scouring the Capitol grounds for litter. Cleanups like this went on in many parts of Denver today. Somebody got a wastebasket from the Capitol and said it must be the only one, but there were enough paper bags to go around. Then they left for the teach-in, bikers on bikes, but hundreds of others traveling on foot. Some sang, some shouted, all seemed to enjoy the day. High schools were not closed, but many announced absences would be excused. Corrigan Plaza, the hall, was arranged to seat 6,000, though some planners predicted a half-full house. In fact, it was better than that. Lots of coming and going, but about 5,000 seats filled. Most were young, but not all. Most were white, but not all. A group who'd bicycled across the state gave Governor John Love a declaration supporting a cleaner planet, and the governor signed it.
All right. As you can see in this really, really dated video, Earth Day started around 1970. And this was the work of not just one person, but many folks wanting to see the world in a different way, to take care of it, take care of the land and the places that we occupy. And a lot of the things that have happened during our lifetime and before our lifetime has been things like oil spills, raw sewage, toxic dumps, pesticides, all these things have been appearing in people's backyards or their neighborhoods, things like that. And so with Earth Day starting in the United States, this wasn't a worldwide thing. And it wasn't until about the late 1980s that it became more of a worldwide phenomena, where we take a moment to pause and say, hey, we really need to take care of the earth that we live on. But the one thing that I want to bring to the forefront, and it was mentioned in this video, is that a lot of the folks that were protesting back then were mostly white. They were mostly white, and doesn't mean that it weren't people of color. But the thing that I want to bring to our attention is the fact that the folks that are most affected by this are people of color. Specifically, when we talk about environmental racism, we talk about just racism in general. But when we talk about the environment, there are things that happen in our own backyard that we don't hear about in the news quite as often. And if we do, it usually happens in the news when you hear about it in the backyard of folks that are more wealthy and folks that have more money and influence to be able to bring it into the news or bring it into politics. And so this person here that I want to bring up is Dr. Robert Bullard, and he is known as the father of environmental justice. He highlighted the burdens of pollution and how that has affected low-income families and people who come from communities that are marginalized. And so if you want to think about the Bay Area and talk about our own communities, Richmond is a perfect example of this. If you don't know your history of the Bay Area, definitely look into what has happened in Richmond, the current state of all the factories, refineries, all the things that are happening there that are polluting the air. And mostly Black and brown folks live in Richmond. Also, Oakland. Oakland is another place where a lot of smog and pollution exists. And the youth that live in Oakland, there are far more youth that have asthma than anywhere else in the country. And so those are two key points that I'm sharing. This is something that I've taught before when I was a digital media arts teacher, and something that's really important to me. And I wanted to make sure that as a community of mostly Black and brown folks, right, that we really think about how our communities are affected by pollution, and how, you know, things like the BART running through our neighborhoods, right? You don't see those running through more affluent neighborhoods. You don't see that running through places like Berkeley, things like that. They're underground, right? But the actual tracks are riding right through communities, mostly communities of color. So really think about who is talking about the earth, who is talking about clean air and all those things, because it's not something that is talked about for our community here in Hayward or in Oakland or in Richmond. So really important message that this person, Robert Bullard, talks about is that the majority of our population doesn't live near chemical plants or the fence line of these dangerous places. So people don't often believe it when our communities point it out. Just like when we say that there's police brutality and coming from our communities, they don't believe it until they see video of it. And so I'm saying this in comparison to these things because these things are true and they happen, but we're not talking about it enough, or we're not educated enough about it. And so I'm going to put in the chat this link for you to definitely explore this a little bit further. Here is a website, Greenpeace, that did an interview with Dr. Bullard, and you'll get to learn a little bit more about what you can do to be more outspoken and learn more about how you can help your community thrive in a way that it hasn't been able to, as things like pollution and things like that take over. Thank you, and welcome to my TED Talk.
Thank you for that, Mr. B. I appreciate you bringing that into the conversation. So let's get into this. Mia, would you like to read this slide?
Yeah, thank you, Joseph. At Impact, we strive to create and maintain a safe space, both physical and virtual, for everyone in this community.
Okay, so This week, we're going to focus on community and respect. I believe the same thing as last week because we really have to like show that via Zoom, and some of you guys are in person now, so let's just continue to show that community and respect. And remind you, this is a safe zone. This space respects all aspects of people, including race, ethnicity, gender expression, sexual orientation, socioeconomic background, age, religion, and ability. So let's just be respectful in the chat to everybody that is here. Yeah. And happy birthday. Let's see who's all whose birthday it is, because this week has been full of excitement for me. So happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Very happy birthday, chat.
Yes, happy birthday. Woo. Thank you everyone for saying happy birthday in the chat. Please show your love and support. Thank you, Miss Kelly. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Mr. Patel. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, Miley. Woo! Happy birthday to everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you, Tamar. Happy birthday, everybody. Whew. Thank you all for the support. So this week we are changing it up. We're gonna have a we're gonna start with a hello from Mr. Key. So yeah.
$25, 2560. How does an awesome possum impact decorated teaching staff? Unite the students through Zoom chats, doing distance learning like academic acrobats. Breathe in, breathe out, you ready for more yet? So what did I miss? What did I miss? Impact my home sweet home, I wanna give you a social distance hug. We've been praying for more rain all spring. This pandemic, man, it's the worst thing. Been put a mess, alright, cause it saves lives. Woo!
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Miss Dorman.
Good morning.
Hey, so welcome to What Did I Miss? And I think building off the beautiful introduction that Mr. B gave this morning about yesterday being Earth Day and what you're going to talk to us about today, I think is a perfect example of a creative way to think about justice, to think about impact on our environment, and to think about what each one of us can do to think creatively about how we try and not have such a big impact and footprint on our environment and on our world so that our communities are more just and more safe for everybody. So I can't wait to hear more about what you're going to talk to us about today.
Thank you for welcoming me. I'm happy to be here.
So what do we see here on the screen, Ms. Dorman?
All right. So this is a project I've been working on for a long time. This is my van that I took. It used to be like a passenger van, but I took everything out of it and I cut a hole in the roof and I made it into a little home. And so I'm trying to sell this one and have it be a home for somebody, but I put in insulation and I set up an electrical system that I'm going to show you on the next slide. And I added ventilation, and there's a little shelf. And so I'm really excited to have this be someone else's home, and then to get started on my next project, which is a bigger van for myself. So this is what it looks like. with the shelf down. So it's a little flip up shelf. So this is what it looks like inside. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to make. You can see I put little lights on the ceiling for nighttime.
Does it have a solar panel?
Yeah, it does. It has a 300-watt solar panel on the roof. So if you go to the next slide, I could show you the electrical stuff. Oh, maybe the next one. That's my feet. Okay. So this is the electrical stuff. So some of the things on the screen are the solar charge controller, which is the little blue thing on the right. And so when the electricity comes in from the solar panel, it's the wrong voltage. So basically you can think of it as like the wrong kind of energy. And so then the solar charge controller changes the electricity so it's the correct voltage for the battery. And then the battery, which you can only see in the tiny picture, so it's kind of hard to see, it gives the energy to this inverter, which is the big thing, and then the fuse box, which is the little thing on the left. And so you probably, when you plug your stuff in, you use alternating current or AC, and your car and car batteries use direct current, which is DC. So that big box there, the inverter, changes it from DC to AC. And so that's really important. If you just want to plug a regular thing into a regular outlet, you need one of those inverters.
Did you do all of the electrical work yourself?
Yeah, I did. It took me many months, and I procrastinated a lot because I would get stuck, and then I wouldn't want to come back to the project because the last thing I had done was gotten stuck. So I was like, oh, this is going to be like, I don't like feeling stuck. But I knew that I really wanted to have my own home, and I really wanted to learn this skill. So I did eventually come back to it, and I kept coming back to it. And I just learned a lot of things on the internet, and made a lot of mistakes, and spent a lot of time at Home Depot. And at the end, I did find out that one of my friends knew about electricity. So I asked him some questions at the end. But most of it, I did do by myself.
And I think that's a perfect message for all of you who are watching, who are students, who have interests that may or may not be coming up in school. Just the creativity and your sense of agency, that all of this information is out there, like at your fingertips. And there's literally nothing you can't learn how to do. So I love how you're setting an example here of finding information, getting stuck, getting frustrated, giving it a break, learning, coming back to it. I think it's just the learning process that we can all go through. So for all of you scientists, mathematicians, engineers, electricians who are watching or aspiring for any of those careers, I think the ability to learn and find information and try stuff out and building it, you're really demonstrating here.
Yeah, this was a really good project for me, because even though I love learning about how science works and thinking about science things, I haven't actually built that many things in my life. And so I didn't really know if I could do it. And so one of the reasons this took me so long is because I didn't have very much confidence in myself about whether it could actually work. And so the moment after like almost a year of like saying I was going to do it, when I finally plugged in the fan and heard it turn on, was a big moment for me, because I was like, oh, I actually built something and it worked. And so I wanted to share that, because I didn't really think of myself as someone who could build stuff, and I did. And it just took a lot of struggling and failing and then coming back to it. And so I encourage you, if you think you're not a person who can do a thing, just like ask for help and keep trying.
Yeah, I love that. Before we close out, how did you originally get into the idea of living or creating a van that can be a house on your own, and why do you think that this is important for the environment?
Well, I really wanted to own my own house and have it be mine. And that's really hard to do in the Bay Area. And so this seemed like a way that it could really be mine, my own space. And I also noticed that I had a tendency to like when I was growing up, like I had a lot of random stuff, but I didn't really care about it or take care of it. And so I wanted to know how everything in my house worked and to have a relationship with every single item and not take things for granted. I know a lot of some of the kids have been looking at the story of stuff for their POLs and like thinking about like where stuff comes from and where it goes. And I realized that I had just been like buying stuff without thinking about like, oh, I'm responsible for this forever now. I have to like get rid of it at some point. And so I wanted to have a space where I actually cared about everything in the space and knew how it worked and just like had a relationship with it. And so that's what really appeals to me about it. And as far as the environment, I would like to live a life that where I know what the effect I'm having on others and the earth is, and having a simple life seems like the most easy way to do that, because if it gets too complicated, I don't really know the effect that I'm having on the earth.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
Have a good weekend, Ms. Norman.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right, everyone, please continue to share your thoughts in the chat, and shout outs to Ms. Dorman. I also think this issue of housing, especially here in the Bay Area, and how so many people are affected by our housing shortage and like crazy housing policies. And so just this idea of like how housing affects our unhoused community members, how housing might affect some of you, especially during the pandemic. And so I just think that being creative, like Ms. Dorman is showing here, she created her own house and now she's going to sell it, hopefully to someone who could really benefit from having a place to live. So thank you so much, Ms. Dorman, for coming in and talking with us. If anybody else is interested in coming in the future to What Did I Miss? You can come and share your art, poetry, music, sports, singing, or other creative things that you've got going on in your life. Please send me an email and would love to have you on the show. That's it for today, everybody. I will turn it back over to Joseph and Mia.
Hello? Is anybody there?
Oh, hey, welcome to Tiny Talks. I'm Joseph Johnson. Come in.
Hi, my name is Mia Kendall, and welcome to Tiny Talks.
Welcome everybody to Tiny Talks, best part of community meeting. Woo! I'm so happy. So we'll wait for Mia. I believe she might be having technical difficulties. So we'll just wait a minute or so just for her. And hi, Miss Kelly. Thank you all for showing Miss Dorman the love and support that she deserves. And great job to Miss Dorman for building her van home, or her home van. Yeah, so great job. Thank you everyone for being in the chat and showing your support. So Yeah. So if anyone has any plans this weekend, like write it down in the chat. Oh, what's up, Jody? Like, what are you guys doing this weekend? Anything? Oh, there's Mia. Okay. So
Sorry, I accidentally left.
it's okay. All right, so let's get into Tiny Talks.
Joseph, you want to read this for us?
Oh yeah. So Mia and I were thinking that since we do have the talk show Tiny Talks, we want to feature students because the only reason why we really have it is so we could get the student voices out there. Like Miss Patel always tells our students or her students to do, like get your voice heard, make sure you're heard, and make sure like you have a strong opinion. So I was thinking, you guys write what you guys want to see. So what would you guys like to see in the future? What would you guys like to play? Like Kahoots or like background games that we did for something for Impact. Like what changed in the background. What would you guys like to talk about? And who would you guys like to see? Would you guys like to do interviews? So if you guys want, like email me or Mia, like tell us like if you want to come on the show and interview me, Mia, or both of us, Mr. Key, Mr. B, or both of them, or you can mix it. For example, Mia and Mr. B, you can interview those two, or you could interview separately. So if anyone has any ideas, email me and write it in the chat. So I'm going to like be writing this stuff down, so don't think you're not being heard. So this is all like being considered and I'm writing it down. So please write what you guys think about it. And okay. I see that. Okay. Okay. So we have one person that would like to interview. So I'm horrible at reading. So yeah, so I'm like I can't say the name. But yeah, so we have that person. Mia, would you like to read the chat for me? So
Sure.
right. So we have okay, I want to see Miss Kelly play guitar. Okay, Jody. Jody. Miss
How about everybody?
play guitar. All right. I would like to see that too. I already wrote that comment. Thank you for pinning it. And alrighty. What else? Gaming with Mick Schuler. Okay, Samar. That's great. Samar. Gaming with Mick Schuler.
And make
Okay,
sure.
and we have. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, make sure to email us too if you want to confirm, because we might not be able to look through all of the chat and see everybody's, and it would be easier if you guys just emailed it straight to us, so that we'd be able to see it better, and we can
Okay.
see everybody.
And then we have from Samar again movie reviews. Can you clarify what that means, please? Interview our teachers. Okay, so Zahara, is that your name? I think I said that right. Would you like to do the interviews, or are you just saying you want us to interview more teachers?
He'd run. I'd like to volunteer.
I would like to volunteer Miss Mari to go on the show and rap for us. Okay,
I'd love to see that.
I'll write that down. Yes, Miss Eliana. Alrighty. Miss Mari rap. All right. And for everyone, if you guys don't want to write it down here, please email us. Like this is for real. We're going to like talk about this. We're not even gonna. I'm probably not gonna talk about it. We're probably just gonna do it because I really want everyone to feel welcome, and I want everyone to, yeah, I want everyone to feel respected. So I'm gonna just put our emails in here. So if you guys want to email us, you can. Miss Mari is a dope rapper. Yes, Mr. William. Any instrument playing for anyone? We got talent people here. Singing too, and even drawings. Yes, Jody, we could do that. Okay. Play Among Us. Play the platypus. Play Among Us. Play a game with all of us. Okay, so we'll do that. I'll write that down.
One thing I'd like to see is Jody come on here
Yeah. All right, I'll write that down.
Jody on here.
Play game.
I've asked her, but
Yeah.
she doesn't want to go.
See Jody on the show.
I
Boom.
want to see Jody on here.
So all of these that I'm typing, they're going to our private chat that goes through StreamYard. So where maybe Mr. William and Miss Mari do a collab. I'll write that down. Sounds awesome. Okay, so Miss Mari.
Do with Miss Mari.
Boom. And then I'll write all of these on paper. How about the duo Mr. Williams and rap about what? Wait, what's the link? Mr. Okay, thank you, Mr. B. I would love to see Miss Eliana do some TikTok dance tutorials for us. Tutorials. Yeah. Okay, so I'll put that down as an idea. Okay. Like, I'm pretty sure all of these they're gonna get done. I'm like, that's my goal. Like, at least 95% of these get done. Yes. I mean, yes, click the link like Mr. B said. Rap battle with Mr. Scott. I haven't seen him in so long. I miss Mr. Christian. Mr. Oh my. Okay, so Amara yes, rap battle with Mr. Scott, Miss Mighty, and Mr. Williams. Keep that in mind. Boom. What else? I'm gonna see if I can join. Watch people put that on TikTok. Anything you see, Mia?
I've just been reading them. I'm sorry, I haven't read them out loud.
Oh no,
it's
take
easy
your
to
time.
do it in my head.
Yeah.
But most of the things I've been seeing has been put up on the stream.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is the same StreamYard? Mr. B is the same StreamYard that we're in right now.
The movie reviews idea is kind of cool too.
Video. Yeah. That was horrible. Okay. I was just saying, virtual improv with all the teachers. Whoa. Yes. I was thinking we could probably do a play. Like, that was something that would be cool.
That would be awesome.
Hi, Miss Kelly.
I tried clicking the link and it worked.
Hey, that's good. Welcome to our where we always host our stuff.
I loved Mr. Williams' idea about inviting students to perform.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to perform, it'd be so cool.
Mr. Williams. Let's see. I'll just write it. Okay, so Mr. Will. So basically a talent show.
Yeah, I think everybody should try their hardest to get out there and see if they want to come on, because the school year is probably ending in about a month and a half or 2 months. So, we want to get as many people in as possible in the last month or two of school.
So please email us, please. If you guys have any ideas, I'm always on my email. Like, that's the first thing I look at every morning. And sometimes, like, if I'm bored, I'll just read my email. And there's only 5 things, so I'm for surely gonna see it. So please email us if you guys have any more ideas. I'm going to read over the list. So someone said she would like to do an interview. I cannot read the name, but it's ANE.
Oh, Anavea?
Anavea. Okay, Anavea would like to do an interview, maybe. Jody would like to see Miss Kelly play guitar. Samar gaming with Nick Schuler. Miss Eliana, Miss Mighty rap. Player the Platypus play a game. Mia see Jody on the show. Miss Eliana, maybe Mr. William and Miss Mighty can do a collab. Miss Mighty, I would like to see Miss Eliana do some TikTok dance tutorials for us. Amara Khan, she said yes, rap battle with Mr. Scott, Miss Mighty, and Mr. William. Anavea said virtual improv with all the teachers, and Mr. Will said basically a talent show. Are there any more ideas? Maybe interview someone about Eclipse. Oh, okay, mythology.
Isis, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong.
That's your name.
Said they'd like to play a song on the guitar.
Oh, that's great. Where is that? Isis, I would like to play. Okay.
Gaming with Mick Schuler does sound awesome.
All right. So 10-4. All right, perform. Okay, so This is great. I thought there would be like less people typing, but I didn't even know half of the people that are typing were even in the stream, were even watching. So thank you all for typing. I want to see a roast battle. Okay, I'll put that. I want to see some gaming. Like if anyone plays Call of Duty, well, it's kind of Madden, NBA, anything. Like yeah, I want to see some gaming.
I think it would be cool to see Mick Schuler do it. I saw
Yeah.
somebody, Leilani, said they'd like to see Mick Schuler do some gaming.
Yeah. Will school even roast some chicken? No, yeah.
Roast some chicken.
So thank you all for ideas. I'm not taking any more right now. Wait, I want to co-host with Mick Schuler. Okay, so I'll keep that in mind. So we're not taking any more ideas right now, but we're for surely gonna take our ideas. Just email us. I'll put our emails in the chat again. Oops. Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, so we're gonna start wrapping it up. Hopefully you guys just had fun. And yeah, so happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Coming up next week we have another community meeting. So make sure you guys stay for that. So yeah, please email us and yeah. So I'm gonna copy all these down and just put them in Google Docs. Bye. Whew. All right. That was awesomeness.
Take roll.
What is happening?
Stop!
Yes, that was our end scene. For those of you guys that saw it, keep it a secret. Next week there will be another one. So
Oh my god.
Peace out.
Yeah.
It was Nala, Jody. It was Nala. It was Layla screaming in the